This isn't content, it's conversation. And real-time data analysis for wider business application. Sports, music, culture. FAFO! Live streams from the event and live Copilot workflows. Tied to the moment. Let's go!
Welcome to FAFO live streams and live workflows. Today we're talking this, specifically the basketball tournament that is the EuroLeague Final Four taking place in Athens this weekend. I am Dave. This is FAFO live streams and live workflows tied to the moment based around sports, music and cultural events. What we're doing here today is going to extract insights from raw data that is the data extracted from the EuroLeague this season, Europe's premier basketball competition, and turn that into a strategic narrative. Now, bear with me a second here. I've lost my music. Give me one moment. Let me see if I can sort this out. Oh, I know what's happened. And we're back. Now, hopefully that isn't too loud. Just keep an eye on the chat here. Get out of this. Folks, I'm going to be walking you through a live workflow demo entirely with Microsoft Copilot. Now, sports, music, and culture are just the starting point. They're not the point. The point is seeing how Copilot can achieve real business objectives efficiently and powerfully and in a real human way, ironically. But we'll get to that. Now, while I get us going here, what you'll see, folks, here is our agenda for today. First up, oh yeah, so where's the chat on this? I used Zoom for years, but switched to Teams through necessity, and it seems to be okay. Cool, let me know if that's too loud. The music, by the way, is from Epidemic Sound. I usually listen to Lo-Fi Girl on YouTube, but one, it's down today for like the first time in 3 years, and two, I'm not going to do that because even if it were possible, YouTube will block it on IP grounds. Epidemic Sound is a place for royalty-free music. Moving back to why we're here, folks. This is FAFO. If you are just joining, this is a live workflow demo built around the EuroLeague basketball tournament, Europe's top tier professional basketball league. Now, for those who joined us a few weeks ago, I was at the FC Barcelona Bayern Munich essentially play-in game where Barca had to win to make the playoffs of the EuroLeague. They defeated Bayern Munich and got into the actual playing game, which they won the first one, the semi-final against, blank on the name there. But anyway, it was all futile because they fell at the play-in game hurdle to Monaco by about 1,000 points. But we're not talking about Barca or Monaco or any other teams that aren't in the Final Four. We're talking about Valencia, Panathinaikos, Real Madrid, and Fenerbahce. But we'll get to that. For now, this is our agenda. We're going to look at a bit of background on quickly what is the EuroLeague, right? What's happened in it this season. Then we're going to break down the teams that actually made the Final Four. We're going to turn data from their season so far into real insights, identifying patterns, trends, anything that's an anomaly. This just should be anomalies. And we're going to then evaluate those factors that actually affect performance and would affect decision making for the teams and would ultimately show us, indicate to us who's best placed to win this whole thing. After that, as we do that, we're going to build a index out of 100, evaluating these teams' performance up until this point, their recent form, and also how they match up against the other 3 teams in the tournament. And based on those factors, we'll create an index out of 100 to see 100 being beasts and 0 being bust. We're going to decide who's making the final and ultimately who's winning based on what the data says. I'm going to also factor into the SPI how these teams match up against each other. And then I'll preview the tournament starting tomorrow night. And ultimately we'll reframe the prediction into a strategic narrative by creation of a few deliverables. Now, if you are just joining, this is FAFO. These are live streams from the event and live workflows created with Microsoft Copilot. The first part of this two-parter was a live stream from the EuroLeague basketball game between Barca and Bayern Munich a few weeks ago. And now for the second part, where we break down statistically what the EuroLeague Final Four is shaken out and shaping up to be. So with that, folks, I'm going to move to Copilot. All right, so a bit of background. I'm going to open a new workflow here. Everything that we do today will be put onto here. This is from last week where we broke down with Copilot the Eurovision Song Contest. And the findings, in fact, were pretty right on. Where the winner once again sang in English and was an Ernest act. And that was what our findings said was most likely to win. Thank you, Copilot. Now, let's break down the EuroLeague. So how's this thing work, right? At the top, we've got the EuroLeague. This is the basic structure of professional European basketball. EuroLeague basketball is the top tier. Then below that, we have the Euro Cup. I always blank on this name because it's really not covered greatly in the media. And I don't know who's got the rights for it, but it's near impossible to say what the logo. Europe Cup, is it? Okay, well, because 2021, I think it's been rebranded. Let's go to Copilot. Help us out here. Now, EuroLeague run the EuroLeague, and EuroLeague also run the Euro Cup. So, firstly, let's just go to general chat, and we'll go. What's the name of the second tier in European basketball? Europe Cup. I don't know if that music is too loud, but just shout out if you can't hear me. Or Euro Cup. Okay. That's good. Now, as Copilot has told us here, at the top tier, we've got the EuroLeague, run by EuroLeague, Euro Cup, also run by EuroLeague. Then, strangely, the Basketball Champions League, which is third tier, run by FIBA, and is a developmental league. You've got barely no chance of seeing this in the media, so this is going to be a tough ask. But, strangely enough, the EuroLeague recently played in Badalona, European capital of basketball, also the venue for the 92 Dream Team, where they did all that damage, the greatest sports team ever assembled, is incredibly well attended, and the event is very well run. It is a premium event. There's a Final Four, just like the EuroLeague. It's pretty cool. But for now, this is the tiers that we're talking about. We're talking about top tier today, and that is the EuroLeague. But first, let's map this out one more step. Let's go FIBA Basketball Champions League. That's not it. Internet disaster. No, we're good. Teams toolbar is in the way. Unable to insert one or two, only PNG. Okay, that's fine. I'll just take a screenshot. No skin off my back. Now you may notice I'm in a Barcelona shirt and they bombed and were ass in this EuroLeague, but there is one team taking part in the Final Four, which is one that we don't want to win. We'll look into which one that is soon enough. So it only lets us put PNGs on here, not web P files, whatever that is. All right. Top tier EuroLeague basketball. I remember from before, and that. Okay, here's our workflow. No numbers, no numbers. All right, that's fine. It's tier 1, top tier. Well, it's not really middle, it's second tier. Third tier. All right. That's where we're at, but we're focusing on the EuroLeague today. Now, what is it? Your premier teams in Europe, in their domestic leagues, take part in the EuroLeague. Now, depending on the league, but for example, here in Spain, there are 4 teams in the EuroLeague. Total of 20 teams total, if I'm not mistaken. 4 from Spain, 2 from France. Right, so in Spain we have Valencia, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Baskonia. In France, there is 3 teams, sorry. Monaco, Asvel, which is Tony Parker's team, and Paris Basketball. In Italy, there's 2. We have Milan, Emporio, what's it called? Emporio Armani 7. Not gonna go into Italian here. Virtus Bologna, so 2 from Italy. We got only 1 from Germany. That should probably change, I think, at some point pretty soon. 2 from Serbia, my bad. Partizan Belgrade and Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda, whichever side of that fence you fall on. 2 from Greece, Olympiakos, Panathinaikos. Olympiakos from Piraeus and Panathinaikos from the capital. 2 from Turkey, Anadolu Efes and Fenerbahce. I think both from Istanbul, if I'm not wrong, but they are both from Turkey. Zalgiris Kaunas from Lithuania, and then we have 3 in the Middle East. So it is not exclusively EuroLeague, but neither is Eurovision exclusively Eurovision, is it? Australia. Now, in the Middle East, we got Hapoel Tel Aviv, Maccabi Tel Aviv, and Dubai Basketball, bringing us to 20, 12, 4, right? 4, 20. Yeah, 20 teams in total. Now, how's it gone so far? Let's go to Copilot. What we're going to do is create an agent. I'll make this smaller. We'll come back to this. If we have time, we'll do some procrastination and exploration. Procrastinational exploration. I'm coining that. Across some of these places that the clubs come from. Now, let me just close these stacks here. Yes. Copilot. Now, folks, if you are just joining, this is FAFO. These are live streams from the moment, really, where the event either happens or live workflows built around sports, music, and cultural events. The event we're talking about today is the EuroLeague Basketball Final Four, taking place in Athens this weekend. Semi-finals tomorrow night and the final on Sunday. Straight PNG here. Okay, what we are going to do today, here's the agenda. We'll be following this loosely but tightly. I've kind of dived into what the EuroLeague is. And let's check out what happened this season. But eventually we are going to extract insights from raw data and deliver that in a strategic narrative. Make sure I'm good here. Yeah. That's good. And ultimately, we'll build a deliverable, probably more than one, based on what we found. Of course, data doesn't bring decisions. It's insights that do. Right? You present data to someone and they say, what is this? You present insights from the data and they think, what do we do now? What can we do now? And a much clearer idea of next steps based on statistical reasoning. So let's create an agent that can help us with this. Now, there's two ways to do this. You can describe the way you want you describe the agent you want in everyday language. These are some templates that you can make use of. And you can modify this. We're going to focus specifically on the EuroLeague. So while some of these might be useful, such as customer insights is no, idea coach could work, but we are not going to use this anyway, because these are general. I say general, they are pulling from the web, but they are hyper-focused on this specific area. What we're going to do is to configure it manually. And, oh, no, let's go back. Okay, we're going to do, to create and specializes in top tiers, no, the top tier, yeah. EuroLeague. At this point, you could make it a bit more focused, but we are going to the emphasis. Just noise. Analyze. Identify. Okay, the more specific, the better at this point. That's going to be our agent's instructions at this point. We'll be able to modify this. There's a few things I want to change. Drinks break. I am drinking this green juice from a bottle, but it's awesome. It's like kiwi, orange, bunch of fruit. I'm not a big fan of these different juices, apart from I've always been an orange juice fan, but this is awesome. Okay, here are instructions that it's generated. You can also ask Copilot to do these instructions for you, but this is effectively what it has done. So if you want to build an agent, just ask it intuitively, just like that, or naturally. Now, you can search your websites to limit results to specific sites. We're going to do that. Okay, so the site that we are going to access is EuroLeague. Yeah, I don't know why that disappears. Oh, it's here. Cool. Oh, that's cool. And we could also refer to other ones, but ESPN's coverage of European basketball is not that comprehensive. So I'm going to just go from EuroLeague. Now, I am using the EuroLeague in this case, but you may be using your own data set which you can upload here, where you just have metrics. You may want to extract insights quickly, efficiently, and shape them into a narrative, identifying what's actually powerful, what's resonant, what is anything, and setting aside what is nothing. Okay? And particularly from a business objective point of view. Scrolling down, we can get it to create documents, charts, and code for us, and create images. And here are some prompts that, particularly if you're sharing your agent, people can have these prompts as these are quite good though. They could start signal versus noise. This is all based on our instructions. I think we're good to go. So I'm going to create this. I'm going to change my mouse pad because I got this this kind of with a curve here, so flopping off the side of the table, off the desk. All right, now we're talking. The radars. Oh, can you not wait for Fernando Mendoza to spin it this year? It's going to be awesome. But we're not talking football, we're talking basketball, and specifically the EuroLeague Final Four taking place in Athens this week. All right, so we're now using the EuroLeague website as our data source, but you can use any other website or an Excel spreadsheet, perhaps Word documents, etc., and extract insights from raw data that way. All right, but wait, let's check this out. So concisely, I want to make this short. Concisely, tell me about the EuroLeague season this year, which is 25-26. Who made the playoffs? Who struggled and missed out on the playoffs? I think that might be clear, but anyway. What's happened in the playoffs and who is in the Final Four. Also, if there has been any key strategic off the court, front. Decisive in these results. Point that out. Do not include anomalies. And this is for a executive summary of the league up to okay. Now we already wrote in our instructions that we want to separate signal from noise, the things that don't really make a difference from the things that actually do. Okay, so here we go. This is what happened. Format expanded to 20 teams. Each team played each other twice, home and away. Top 6 directly to playoffs, teams 7 to 10 via the play-in. These were your top 4 teams. Play-in qualifiers were 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, but what's happened to 6th? Oh. Zalgiris Kaunas, Hapoel Tel Aviv. And these teams made it through via the play-in games. Teams that just missed out, I put Barcelona in the struggle category. Not an impressive season. They're overhauling the team on the court and off. And then these teams missed out. Playoff summary, quarterfinals. So for quarterfinals, Olympiacos swept Monaco 3-0. Pretty easy. First playoff sweep in club history. That's cool. Second place, Valencia. Now this was a series. Lost the first 2 games by 2 points at home. Down 2-0. Went to Athens, the host of the Final Four. Played Panathinaikos. Won game 3. Won game 4 in Athens. Then brought it back to Valencia for game 5 and took it. What a crazy series. Valencia playing in a brand new arena, the Rog Arena, 16,000, probably the most advanced indoor arena in Europe. O2 maybe in London, perhaps, but it's either that, I would say top five. Real Madrid, pretty easily kicked aside Hapoel Tel Aviv. Wasn't much of a fight there. And yeah, Zalgiris had the chance to take this back to a 5th game and blew it late, losing in overtime. Kind of sucks for their fans, another elite arena in Europe. So these are your final 4 teams. Olympiacos Piraeus, Valencia Basket, Real Madrid, and Fenerbahce, which are your top 4 teams, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. And the semi-final matchups tomorrow night are these 2. Few off-court factors that may just have affected the run of play of things. What do we have? League expanded. Yeah, all 4 Final Four teams finished top 4 in the regular season. That's cool, indicating the season-long depth and stability. Nice. So these are things that teams in future could take to their performance. Of course, depth is something that can be managed. Stability is open to change, but certainly things to keep in mind. Re-entry, Valencia's return. Okay, so they had 1 year off. And operational maturity of contenders. Olympiacos all converted top 4 finishes. Playoff series. Yeah, nice. Suggesting execution efficiency rather than tactical surprise. Okay. Top seeded teams on. Here's your summary. Playing out of drama, but not disruption in the Final Four reflects excellence in the season, not volatility. Okay. There we have our summary of the season so far. Oh, there we go. It's quite complex. But how about we turn that into a table? I mean, we could take the standings here, but we're going to ask Copilot. So convert the final standings spreadsheet. Final league standings. This is just for our workflow. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take the 4 teams. Wow, that's sort of loading. The 4 teams are these ones here, folks. Let's point them out, shall we? So we've got these teams missed out. Duplicate. Close a few things here. Just let me know if the music's not too loud. Well, let me know if it's not too loud. You get me? If you can't hear me, let me know. Sometimes what happens is it gets a bit... Okay. All right. Can I go copy paste? Yes. Okay, there we go. So Zalgiris Kaunas made the playoffs, but lost to Fenerbahce in 4 games. Fenerbahce made it. Anadolu Efes did not make the playoffs. Let's head over to the Middle East while we're at in this part of the world. Hapoel Tel Aviv missed out entirely on the playoffs, did they? Yeah. Thanks. Copy. Yeah, not the neatest, is it? But now, folks, if you are just joining, this is FAFO. These are live streams from sports, music, and culture events, and also live from a computer sometimes, where we use Microsoft Copilot to break apart and statistically analyze events, sports leagues, for evaluation, talent evaluation reasons, and ultimately for the purpose of building a strategic narrative. Now we've got our standings, which is a bit messy. There's probably a better way to do this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go screenshot. Okay, so heading back to our map. Maccabi Tel Aviv missed the playoffs entirely. Hapoel Tel Aviv lost first round 3-1 to Real Madrid. Dubai basketball did not make the playoffs. Yikes. Bayern Munich missed out playoffs. Who else missed? One of these made the play-in game, right? It's Crvena Zvezda. So Partizan missed out, but Red Star also missed out. Lost in the... What was it? Let's go. I'm going to have a summary of the playoffs. Okay. And while we're here, I might even generate an image for this. Sum up the playoffs concisely and convert it into an infographic. See how this goes. Now, folks, if you are just joining, this is FAFO, live streams from where sports, music, and culture occurs. Also, sometimes from a computer. And the event that we're talking about today is a sporting event, specifically this sport, and it's the EuroLeague Final Four taking place in Athens this weekend. Okay, I just killed the sharing of sound. Can you hear me okay? If the music's too loud, just shout out. Yeah, this is this channel. What? Is it a channel? It's endemic sound, right? Royalty-free music. And this playlist is laid back lo-fi. I'm using that to sort of get around YouTube. Because if I played my usual list, which is Lo-Fi Girl from YouTube, they'll just block it. Okay, so we got our infographic. We've taken data, events, and data that emanated from events and converted it into a very clear narrative here that can communicate what was found in that data. We are turning data into insights. And these insights are then going to inform us as we further analyze where this tournament is at and who's in the best position to win it all and take the chip away from Athens to either Piraeus in Olympiacos' case, to Valencia, to Madrid, or to Istanbul, Fenerbahce. Should probably check that. Okay, yeah, take it to Fenerbahce. Now, here on Whiteboard, we can also use Copilot directly here. It suggests ideas and content. It's not fully integrated, so I like to use 365 here for pretty much everything, and then just map it out and document everything that's being done. I don't know if it's going to be an image. Designer. Okay. Look, ignore these logos. They're going to be whack. But let's check out. Let's check out. All right. Let's check out if it checks out. Olympiacos swept Monaco. Valencia beat, but there goes 3-2. Real Madrid beat Apoel 3-1. And Fenerbahce beat Zalgiris. Yes, which means these are our final thing. The headlines. Olympiacos dominates. First ever playoff circle. Awesome. Valencia wins game 5. Yep. Wicked. That's my team. I don't have an orange right here, but it is incidentally the color of the basketball mostly, so that's got to say something. Well, the team's iconic orange color. Real Madrid, what's the other headline? Top seeds prevail. Yeah, all higher seeds advance. Oh, that's quite cool. I don't mind that. That's all right. I like the color scheme. The logos are whack. but everything else is on point. Okay, so Virtus Bologna missed out on the playoffs. This is EA7, so the Emporio Armani Milano missed out on the playoffs. We'll come back to Greece, we'll finish off there, but Monaco made the playoffs and lost in the first round, swept by Olympiacos. Asvel missed the playoffs. Another team that missed is Paris. Baskonia also didn't make it. And the 3 other teams from Spain did. However, the worst of those 3 was Barca, which fell in the play-in game to... who was it? Panathinaikos? I want bullet points just so I can see this. This is not that clean. I want another infographic of the playing games. I wonder if this will work. By the way, folks, I wonder if this will work. Could double as the slogan of FAFO. These are live Copilot workflow demos where we use sports, music, and cultural events as a starting point to evaluate data, extract insights from that data, evaluate talent and performance, and strategically assess and project outcomes and shape that all in a compelling even strategic narrative that can be designed for any target market. We're showing what Copilot can do and how it can assist in your workflow. Okay, let's take a look at the plans. How do we go? Red Star. Yikes, what the hell is that? Yeah, no, I don't like that. Because that's not great. What we probably should have done is to map it out step by step. No, so there were 4 teams that entered. Oh, okay. Wait, no, this is right, I think. So game 1, 7, 8. Barca eliminated. Red Star. Okay, so Barca did make the plane, but lost in the. I thought so. Yeah, perhaps this is hallucination. This is not great. Redo step by step. In bullet points. And of course, this is referring to the EuroLeague specifically, since we asked it to use that as the primary source. Panathinaikos defeated Monaco, but Monaco had a second chance. Barca and so, right, hang on. Am I spacing out on this? Barca beat Red Star. Yeah, Barca beat Red Star, but they lost to Monaco. That's weird. Why is it saying that? No. That's not right. I don't like this. Why is it doing that? Okay. It's a disappointing result there. See, it's hallucinating because it's not referring to the right part. Maybe we can use maybe from games? Game Center. I might add this as a source. Cool, just checking in, folks. Shout out in the chat if there's anything. Yeah, we're a bit behind, I know. We'll bring it back on the rails soon enough. Just wanted to correct something because it's interesting that it was hallucinating. So let's go. All right, while that's happening, let's finish this off. Oops. Barca eliminated. Olympiacos are there. Panathinaikos eliminated. So there you have it, folks. There we go with a better source. Actor defeated Monaco, that's correct. Barcelona defeated Red Star. Okay, so now it's referring to, it's gone to a better source, that's good. And then Monaco defeated Barcelona, great. I'm gonna copy this, final plan. Graphics. So what we're doing, folks, we're taking insight from data and then delivering it in a strategically compelling way. Leaving us, folks, with our 4 teams that have booked their ticket and are now, in fact, hopefully using their ticket to Athens since it starts tomorrow. Semis tomorrow night and final on Sunday. I think there's going to be a 3rd place playoff too, since teams go all that way. I think it doesn't make sense from one angle, but another one it kind of does for the fans and stuff who go all that way. So there are our 4 teams going to Athens. All right, this is it. That's much better now. It's not called the plane showdown, but that's fine. All right, while that's loading, and I'll bring this back. There we see our teams, folks. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I could also just upload it, but I might try uploading it, in fact. Let's see what happens. Is there a shortcut for that? Right click? No. Command U doesn't work. Okay, there's our teams, folks. Now, before we break down the final 4 teams, let's go over the history. Our quick history lesson, mind you, since we are behind. Okay. So what we're doing is we're extracting insights from raw data here. Okay. List the winners of every EuroLeague and then Real Madrid have won the most and sort of comprehensively, just like in football, unfortunately. The second, not sure. All right, let's check this out. So we improved the model and it's now sourcing from better sources, if you will. We have our 4 teams. We'll close this for now. This is a nice playlist. Oh, by the way, folks, I've got a for those who are interested in ancient architecture, like this playlist. I'm using endemic sound because it's royalty free, and if you upload stuff on YouTube, it kind of gets blocked if you use, well, if I use my usual YouTube Lo-Fi Girl playlist. This one is, this is laid back lo-fi still, that's cool. Yeah, coming back to this. Right, columns. right? Quick lesson on columns. What's the difference between a Greek column and a Roman one? The Greek version of the columns has no base right there, whereas the Roman one often does. You're welcome. All right, here's our list of champions by year. I'll convert that into an infographic as well. We are focusing on infographics. We might also convert that into, should we try it? We can, if you go to create, you can create videos here too. Let's even try that. I'm just going to copy paste this first. Sources, let's check that. Sources, EuroLeague basketball. Okay. So starting in 58, Riga, Latvian clubs dominated the first three. And then Soviet teams, so Soviet teams really for the first 6 years. Real Madrid, first of two. In line into the 70s. Varese, I don't know where they're from. Well, they did all right always. Varese. Is it a Russian team? Yeah, won like at least 4 or 5. It's Italian. Oh, that's cool. I think Kobe's dad might have played there. Where are they based? In Lombardy. Yeah, that's New Milan. Let's go Copilot, help us out here. When Kobe Bryant was growing up, his dad played in Italy for a bit. Kobe's dad. Let's go back to our agent since we're talking basketball. That's probably not going to be on the website, so new chat. We're going to go this way because we could easily say, did Kobe's dad play for Firenze? And we might just get an answer, yes. I mean, we don't really know how to verify that. Oh, you can, but this is going to be much clearer because it's going to give us the options already. Okay, so it wasn't one of those. But he bounced around a bit. That's why Kobe spoke perfect Italian. Maccabi Tel Aviv, Real Madrid, Bosnia, Sarajevo, Cantu, that seems like a Turkish team. Into the 80s, Croatian teams dominated Middle East, so well, Yugoslavian teams at that point. And an outlier here. Juventud Badalona, hell yeah. These guys, Ricky Rubio's current and first team here. There's Algiris Kaunas from Lithuania, Real Madrid once again picking up the obligatory one every decade, except for the obligatory omission of this decade. Panathinaikos, FC Barcelona, their only title, if I'm not wrong. And then alternating with CSKA Moscow. So that's another thing with the absence of Russian teams. That's something that, if it changes, who knows, some might think it strengthens the league, but it's certainly been affected by the absence of those teams. They had a impressive record on the court. There's FC Barcelona, so they've done it twice. And FS, they've fallen off the cliff. And Fenerbahce last year. I'll make a video here. It's just giving us the scenes. What you can do is copy that and go create. I did say, folks, if you are just joining, this is FAFO. These are live streams from where sports, music, and culture happen. Also, sometimes live from a computer where we break down sports, music, and cultural events, all for strategic evaluation purposes. And then we build it into a compelling narrative. I'm just going to copy and paste all that information and let's see how we go. Not confident, but you can refine that and you'll have a much better result probably. Right. Wanted to list the winners. All right, it's gone here. Where's the teams in there? How many they've won? Oh, here. Cool. Look, this could be organized much better. We can, of course, ask Copilot, get Copilot to put this into a infographic. Excel, PowerPoint, which we'll do at the end. But for now, I just wanted to try if the video would work. It's a bit complex, but it might come off. Create. Go back to EuroLeague. Okay, this is the final step before we move on to projecting our outcomes.
Since 1958, only the best clubs in Europe have lifted the EuroLeague trophy.
Let's check this video out that it generated.
New names get etched onto
Yeah. 2 minutes. Where's my Teams toolbar? Stop sharing and I'll reshare.
Since 1958, only the best clubs in Europe have lifted the EuroLeague trophy. Each season, new names get etched onto basketball's most coveted prize. 60 years, the EuroLeague has crowned continental champions, forging legacies and rivalries that shaped European basketball. The journey begins in the late 50s, a time when club basketball was just finding its feet. Dynasties soon emerged. AS Riga dominated the opening years, setting the stage for greatness. Real Madrid rose quickly, building a tradition that would last decades. Varese and CSKA Moscow joined the ranks, crafting their own stories of supremacy. These early champions laid the foundations for what would become one of the world's premier club competitions. Then, everything changed. In 1988, the Final Four format arrived, transforming the tournament into a stage for spectacular, high-stakes showdowns. One weekend, 4 teams, 1 champion. Pressure and drama at their peak. Through the Final Four era, legends were born. Split's three-peat marked a golden run. Panathinaikos, Olympiacos, Maccabi Tel Aviv, and Barcelona carved unforgettable moments. Virtus Bologna wrote its name into history. The intensity of single-game glory defined the new age of champions. In the last decade, modern powerhouses stood tall. Real Madrid reclaimed dominance. CSKA Moscow and Anadolu Efes showed strength and resilience. Panathinaikos and Fenerbahce ignited new fan bases. Only the strongest organizations survived the demands of the evolving format. A look at all-time title rankings reveals the giants. Real Madrid stands alone with 10 championships. CSKA Moscow follows with 8. Panathinaikos and Maccabi Tel Aviv share 6 each. Varese rounds out the elite, while few clubs have conquered the EuroLeague more than 3 times. 18 champions, 13 countries, 1 trophy. History is written in moments, and the EuroLeague legacy continues to grow.
Well, that wasn't bad. You can, of course, change the voice here, make the music different, and update the brand and colors and use different logos, etc. That's not too bad. Let's save that. And if you want to edit it, you can edit it here in Clipchamp and do whatever you want to it after that. Let's go. How can I save this? Download, export and share. Okay. Here's our infographic, which serves us a bit better at this point. Oh, both with 10? Let's see this. I'm going to kill this video, but it's not too bad. Okay, let's move on. CSKA Moscow with 8. See, this is what happens with the infographics. That number missing there is crucial. 1 title each, 2 FC, but the logos suck, but that missing 8 there is key. So that's something that we can work on to create a insightful message from data. We need the data to be present where applicable. Okay, so folks, with that, we're going to move on to breaking down the final 4 teams. Let's go back to our agent. Okay, now let's go, all right, identify. Well, first, how should we do this? List? No. Detail, explain, make it clearest. Oh, find. No. Don't think it matters too much here, but let's go, I want to make this clearest. So we just say what, all right. Madrid, Valencia, and Okay, so what we want to do here is in our instructions, but we want to say to identify okay, then we won't do the SPI yet, the Success Projection Index, because we're going to match these teams against themselves or against each other to come up with that. But first, we want to highlight, so separate what is signal from noise and focus on recent results, changes to roster. Of the season, and how they have tracked in the playoffs via patterns, trends, or anomalies, statistical patterns. Go to think deeper, thinking longer for better answers, and let's go. Okay, we don't like this. Just while that was loading. Or loading, generating, or that. We might, no, let's stick to infographics. Go to create, assign an infographic. Well, we probably don't say generate there. Don't know if you need to say this, but data. Ensure you state the number of has one. Wonder if this will work. And we'll paste our data. Change the, add some content here, brand and color. Might add the Final Four logo. How does that sound? Or EuroLeague. EuroLeague. Yeah, it's not Final Four. Make a portrait. Create. We'll close Excel for now. Folks, if you are just joining, this is FAFO. These are live streams from sports, music, and cultural events. Also from a computer sometimes, where we use Microsoft Copilot to statistically analyze major sports, music, and cultural events, all for strategic purposes. Sports, music, or culture isn't the point, they're just the starting point. And we use Copilot to demonstrate how empirical data can guide us into decisive insights and storytelling. Looks like that's worked. This is much better. There's a one missing here, but all right, that's pretty good. Download. I'll copy his image. Okay, get rid of this one. Damn. Okay, so Madrid with 10. So the numbers are going to get wasted here, right? And the logos, of course, are whack. Panathinaikos 6, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Olympiacos 3. The numbers don't really refer. We may even need to corroborate this based on our data. The years was probably too ambitious. Yeah, no, bad. Varese are totally missing. Damn. Okay, so we're learning things. All right, I'm gonna try one more time. I'm gonna drop the years they won them. I'll do it that way. Okay. So what did we do? We want to extract insights from raw data. Now, we asked Copilot, what are the team stats, not advanced metrics, just basic ones. Field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, probably turnovers per game, points per game, etc. For the 4 Final Four teams, Real Madrid, Valencia, Fenerbahce, and Olympiacos, this season, we asked it to identify only the decisive statistics aimed at an executive level audience. We're separating what is signal from noise and focusing on their recent results, particularly where changes to the roster may have occurred. Then we asked to identify 3 key takeaways from each club across the course of the season and how they've tracked in the playoffs. They should have been, but it's fine. All right. How's our result? Circle of doom. Let's check this out. So the only decisive KPIs, point differential and points allowed. Nice. Shot efficiency. Don't overfit 3-point percentage alone. Turnovers, yeah, possession leakage, awesome. And assists, offensive travels, rebounds, ending possessions and extra chances, free throws made, pressure and half-court reliability. That's a compelling statistic. The noise. Steals, blocks in isolation. Can we match up a whistle dependent? Oh, that's a good point. Single game explosions, highlight late narratives. Yeah, that doesn't really indicate much. And composite ratings. The brief is not advanced metrics. PIR, what's that? Performance, I don't know what PIR is. You don't have team names here, but if you know your teams, you can sort of deduce what these logos are supposed to be. This is our best result so far. Vanessa there. Okay, Barcelona, but we don't know which of these two. If you don't know who's which or even sort of what they're supposed to look like, you're in trouble here, right? This looks like Milan, but we can't be sure. Virtus Bologna. Don't know why it keeps doing that. It keeps going up to the top of the text box. It's annoying. I mean, like your guess is as good as mine, really, at this point. It's not great. I'm going to save this one, but it's not going to be accurate. And I think, yeah, it's actually wrong. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Perhaps, I don't want this to beat me. Us. This is what happens with this thing. You identify issues and it seems to have totally derailed what you're doing. But once you identify how to do it in a way where it doesn't derail, it then ends up saving you enormous amounts of time and making things better in the long run. I'm going to try, should I try one more? Yeah, I'm going to try one more. Save this one. It's our best result so far. What was PIR? Performance index rating. Roughly calculate, that's probably the giveaway there. Points, rebounds, negative contributions, quick reality checks. Use it because it's simple, but it's not perfect. Does it cover efficiency? Does it capture defense fully? Yeah, nice. James Harden would probably have a good one of these. Can reward volume, okay. Quick box score snapshot of impacts, kind of like QBR in football. It's not the be all and end all and far from it. So let's go, I'm gonna go back. This is one of the things about Copilot is it doesn't save your chats like it does in the project on ChatGPT. I don't know where that goes. There's this one. Maybe because it's not refreshed. It's kind of lagging a bit. My bad. Sorry about that, folks. EuroLeague team stat, playing results. What is our historical records? Do I have to do it this way? Maybe. I don't know where it's gone. You can, of course, save your chats to a notebook, which can keep them all in one place. Seems to work, but I kind of forget to. Okay, so or that. I'm gonna let that work while we check out the first step of building our success projection index. Next, executive scoreboard, regular season standing snapshot. Olympiacos went 26-12, point differential 6.9 per game. Okay, last 10, 8-2. Real Madrid 24-14, plus 4.9. Last 10 are home is a huge advantage. That's an interesting statistic since this will be played. The Final Four is in Greece. That may be something compelling. Away 6-13. Wow, that is a huge split. Valencia, last 10, 7-3, points, 4.6 points. There, home and away would be interesting here for each of these teams. Olympiacos' gap clears quality margin. Home and away, yeah, that's a risk factor. Late form. Oh, 3-7 last 10, yeah. They did overcome Zalgiris Kaunas in 4, but that's not, it wasn't that convincing, really. Team by team. Olympiacos. League leading in points per game, league leading in ball movement, top rebound profile, top tier, regular season dominance. Okay. I don't know what this is. That points total that they won by. Steals, blocks, headlines. Creation and conversion, not volatility stats. Yeah, they used to talk about steals and blocks being volatility stats. That's exactly what we're talking about, as eliminating the noise and keeping the signal. Corey Joseph, wow, signed super late. And depth is crucial. We saw that earlier. Swept Monaco. 3 key takeaways. Sustainable offense. Sustainability and depth, really the key words for this team. Yeah, this tracks very well with the sweep. Roster reinforcement match need, and they got this guy, Joseph, in January. Okay. Valencia. Elite offense. Okay, defensive playmaking, steals, top tier. Shot profile, high percentage, solid 3-point percentage. It's good, 36%. On the offense narrative. Playoffs, they prove they can win when scoring compresses. Game 5. What was the final score of Game 5? 81-64. Well, they dominated, yeah. Well, score didn't compress much. But it did a bit. It was the lowest scoring one of the series. Okay, beat Panathinaikos 3-2. What else we got? Only offense narrative. Braxton Key signed, okay. Directly supports rebounds defensive. Beat Panathinaikos 3-2. We know that. Decisive, yep. 3 key takeaways. Creative engine held. Nice playoff gear. Because defense, yeah, they squashed them, crushed them in the final game. To control and stops when needed. That's interesting. Roster move supported playoff needs. Key signing signals intent at front court depth. All right. Real Madrid. Team 3 of 4 and the second of Spain's representatives in the Final Four. Okay, two-way margin. It's kind of standard possession control. 3.9 blocks is good. Scoring baseline, stable points per game. Blocks as defense, proxy blocks held, but don't always split. Nice. Yeah, that is a huge risk. This is really troubling. Away, 6 wins, 13 losses. And at home, 18-1. Okay. This is the single biggest executive level red flagship insight. Playoff tracking, they pretty much handed it to Hapoel Tel Aviv. Hapoel did get one game back, the working class club of Tel Aviv, but didn't really push them. 3 key takeaways. Defensive ceiling is real. League leading blocks, okay. The risk is structural. The home away split implies performance dependency on environment. Final Four is neutral floor. Pressure, yeah, nice. Stable scoring, not explosive scoring. They win more via control defense, and defense wins chips. So that's encouraging for them. The fourth of our teams, and it's Fenerbahce from Istanbul, as we saw here, who finished 4th. Yeah, finished 4th. How do we go with our instructions? Create. Infographic. Okay, back to our 4th team. The 4th of the 4, and it's Fenerbahce from Istanbul. Here are our key insights from the data. Defensive floor, key regular season points allowed, implied by totals. So 80.6 points against per game, lowest. Oh, that's cool. Offensive limitation, right, so they have a low ceiling on offense. Materially below the other 3 teams. Possession leakage, 13 turnovers per game. Geez, that's high. Efficiency note, 3 points about average. Okay, solid but not dominant. Noise to downweight, recent slump. Yeah, they kind of just were gassed and kind of limped into the playoffs. Recent slump. Equals phase, not supported by playoff outcomes since they kind of comprehensively beat Zalgiris, but it's a risk indicator. The result against Zalgiris, 3 key takeaways. Defense is the business case. They advance by coping with their own offense. And form reversal is the headline anomaly. 3-7 and then a 3-1 series win. Okay, so what does this mean right now? You can, of course, ask Copilot to read this out for us if you want, read aloud, but we're down the bottom, so we won't do it since it goes from the top. Final part. of our strategic insights, and before we build our SPI, Success Projection Index. I lost my music. Bear with me a second, folks. That playlist ended, I think. Let's go a different playlist. Might try Lo-Fi Beats Essential. Okay. So our fourth key insight from raw data. What does this mean right now? The final four matchups are Olympiacos versus Fenerbahce. That game is... That's wrong. Isn't it? Let's stick to the site. Okay, here are our two games. Is that right? Close this. No, it's 10. Oh man, that's brutal. Yikes. I mean, that one, that's bad. That's bad. Why is it doing that? There's got to be a better way. Okay, well, this is a problem that will be tackled. Basketball is a non-contact sport, but I'm going to attempt to swat the hell out of this problem. Mutombo style. Still inaccurate. It's annoying. X. Why is it doing that? Still inaccurate. Duplicate. Okay, problem, but like I said, I'm going to Mutombo the hell out of that problem over the next week. By the way, folks, if you are just joining, this is FAFO. These live streams and live workflows from where sports, music, and culture happen. We are breaking down the 2026 EuroLeague Final Four in Athens, 2026, taking place tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday between Olympiacos, Piraeus, Real Madrid, Valencia Basket, and Fenerbahce. We are extracting insights, key insights from raw data and projecting outcomes. all for wider business applications. Okay, so now we have our key insights. That home away statistic was interesting. So let's go, what was home in the regular season and playoffs. Keep an eye on the chat here, folks. Can you hear me okay? Is that too loud? Seems to be okay. Okay, so we're on to 5 and 6 now, which is our final step, and that is the building of the SPI based on how these teams have performed this year and how they match up against each other. What are the projected outcomes for these teams in relation to their rivals and what their rivals have done and are doing most recently? So we have asked for the home away record, since the Final Four will be played kind of on neutral territory for all 4 teams. It is in Athens, but Olympiacos are from Piraeus. Panathinaikos just like brutally fell in game 5 to Valencia after having a 2-0 lead and going back home to clinch, losing 2 at home, and then Valencia took game 5 back in Spain. Crazy disappointing for Panathinaikos, as it would have been in their home building. And close this kind of disappointing result. Okay, so here are our regular season records. Copy these key insights just for now. Okay, Olympiacos 16-3 at home, away 10-9. That's kind of what's expected. Valencia, pretty similar. Real Madrid at the worst away record. Fenerbahce 10-9. Okay. Playoffs. Tally home and away where needed. Olympiacos versus Monaco. 2 games at Peace and Friendship Stadium, which is Athens, Olympiacos home court, and then this one in Monaco. Valencia, this is a bit interesting. Home 1-2, lost game 1, lost game 2 by 1 point, by 2 points, and then won game 5. Away went 2-0, so they're tracking well. This is an interesting figure. Valencia, who are coming up against Real Madrid, are in, at least from this angle, looking in better shape. Real Madrid home 2-0 and then 1-1 away, which was played in Bulgaria. Against Apoel, Fenerbahce 2-0 at home and 1-1 away. Real Madrid season is the outlier in the QFs. Yeah, this is interesting. These 2 teams, Real Madrid play Valencia, and Valencia kind of couldn't care less about being on the road. Whereas Madrid kind of ass when they are away from their own building. Okay, so now what we're going to do is to factor what about, how did, instead of asking the verb, so just how, what, when, where, why maybe. How did the teams perform. No, what were the results? I'm going to take a short break before we come back and project what's going to actually happen in the tournament. And we'll shape this into a PowerPoint presentation as well. Okay, regular season. Real Madrid versus Valencia. Valencia, we don't know if this is at, I'm presuming that Valencia was the home team. They don't do the at format like in the North America. So Valencia beat Real Madrid at home and then got hammered away. Real Madrid defeated Olympiacos at home and got hammered away. So 1-1 split there. Real Madrid, Fenerbahce. Real Madrid had the wood over Fenerbahce, did the double. Valencia did the double over Olympiacos. Valencia also, no, went 1-1 against Fenerbahce. And then Olympiacos versus Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce split against those. Okay. All right. If you'd like, I can also summarize a mini matchup matrix. Yes, do that. That's cool. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break in 3 minutes. If you are just joining, this is FAFO. These are live streams from where sports, music, and culture occur. What is occurring right now is the EuroLeague Final Four taking place in Athens this weekend. And we are statistically evaluating the 4 teams' performance this year, matching it, well, kind of comparing it to their rivals and projecting outcomes from this weekend's massive tournament in Greece. It's like lagging a bit. I don't know why, folks. I'm gonna see if I can clear some space here and maybe clear up some RAM. Probably the screen share that's doing that. I wonder if Zoom works better for this stuff. It's possible. Okay, so Real Madrid split against Valencia. Oh, this is awesome. This is head-to-head. So looks like Valencia, Real Madrid did a double over Fenerbahce, and Valencia did a double over Olympiacos. And the point differential, that's awesome. Let's see the key insights here. Real Madrid, best aggregate outcome in this mini league, 4-2. Okay, so they win this mini league. A point differential of 31. Okay. The second, Valencia, also 4-2, but with a small cushion. Olympiacos, only 2-4. Meaning the losses were tied. 3 points overall. Offset by wins 17 against Real Madrid. Balanced by -12 in Madrid. Okay. Fenerbahce, clear laggard in this upset, 2-4. So we're 4-2, 4-2, and 2-4. And as we know, folks, those teams are actually going to play each other. So the winner of that mini league was Real Madrid. Second was Valencia, and the laggards were third and fourth in the other group half of the bracket. That's awesome. I love that stuff. That's sick. That's cool. Okay, let's check out this matrix. See if I can drop this in. Maybe since notebook leaves a bit to be desired, and notebook, whatever it's called, whiteboard. Don't know if it's going to let me just copy paste this table in like this. No. So I'm going to just do a screenshot just for now. You could also convert this to an Excel and then drop in the Excel or something, but I'm just going to do it like this. It's the mini league. Why did it do that? So it's Real. This is actually organized in order like a table, like standing. So Real Madrid finished on top, Valencia were second, Fenerbahce, and then Olympiacos were last. Is that right? I think Fenerbahce were last, weren't they? 2.4, 52. Yeah. Okay. Wow. This is just a matrix, but almost corresponds, at least the top two. Okay, so with that, folks, I think we are going to take a quick break. Okay, just take a break for 5 minutes here. All right, and we'll be back 7:32. So like, what's that? It's going to be 1:30 Eastern, 7:37 local time where I am. A frozen caveman. You gotta love it. That was a savage game winner. And at that point, put Valencia in a 2-0 hole, going to Greece against Panathinaikos. Amazing, they pulled their way out of that hole like a powerful caveman. Welcome back, folks. This is FAFO. These are live streams where music, culture, and sports happen. The thing that is happening right now, or this weekend, more specifically, is the Final Four of the EuroLeague basketball taking place in Athens. And the four teams that will be fighting for the title, for, I guess, the laurel wreath, are Real Madrid, record winners, 10-time winners, Fenerbahce, Olympiacos Piraeus, and Valencia. Now, what we've done today is we've looked at the raw data of the EuroLeague from this year and throughout history as well, and shaped it into two things. One, a compelling visual narrative, and two, strategic insights that can be used to inform decision-making or projecting outcomes. If we look at the all-time winners here, we also tried to generate some infographics which when it comes to numbers, are hit and miss, and mostly miss. It's kind of brick. So out of all-timers, we've got Real Madrid with 10. The other teams taking part in Athens are Fenerbahce with 1. Valencia have never done it, never won it. And Olympiacos, I think, have won it. Okay, yeah, 3 times. Here is the agenda, folks. We are on to the final stage. And what we have done is compared the teams and their performance this season, looked at their depth and rosters, separated the signal from the noise, and then we've shaped that in a way that factored in decisive factors. Well, that took on board decisive factors, not just looking at things that don't really make a difference. Then ultimately built a little mini league here and matched each of the teams up against themselves or each other throughout the league, looked at how they did against each other in this season. And we see that Real Madrid came out on top with Valencia second, and these two were equal, third, fourth, basically. Fenerbahce, in fact, were last, but Real Madrid does correspond to the top team based on that, but it was pretty close. And compellingly, Real Madrid had the worst away record out of the teams. And this Final Four will be effectively away. The home away records are here. Like that, it's nice. That's going to inform our projected outcomes. So now what we're going to do, folks, is the final stage. We've done the matchup analysis. Now we are going to build a projection index. So factoring in everything that we've looked at so far from the raw data, and out of 100, we're going to grade the 4 teams. Okay, so according to the strategic insights that have been extracted on the teams, factoring in their performance versus rivals, their performance across the season and recently, records home and away, roster depth, championship pedigree, and what else do we want to factor in? We want to eliminate the noise but keep the signal. Recent performances in the playoffs, since that is key. So consider based on those, create a success projection index out of 100, where 100 is the best, 0 is the worst. That's the Final Four played on neutral territory. Close. Okay. We're going to go think deeper and let's do it. We are now projecting outcomes for our 4 teams, generating a projection, SPI, a success projection index out of 100 for all the competing teams in Athens this weekend. We factored in their performance on and off the court, eliminated noise from signal, eliminated noise, kept the signal, considered how they matched up against each other this season, took into account their recent performances, particularly in the playoffs. And now we are creating, shaping, crafting, if you will, a strategic narrative that can project outcomes based on all those factors. This also considers talent as well, considering the talent of an organization and its recent performances. And well, there's no doubt that talent plus performance are compelling indicators of at least near-term success. So let's see, while that's going, should we go to YouTube? Probably no, but we won't unfortunately be able to. But what we can do is take a look at some the fans, right? So let's go to the official site. How's this looking? Because things are getting exciting here. Final Four shaping up. Do you have any let's go to the Final Four, EuroLeague Final Four TikTok. Yeah, we're just gonna have looking for some fan experiences, see what it's like there, you know. What is that? Final Four. I mean, this is the Final Four cities, right? This is a cool video. I'm gonna share this in the workflow, but I recommend checking this out. It's such a cool preview of what this tournament means to Europe, but also what basketball means to Greece. Check that out. Okay, here we go, folks. Let's go. I'm just going to read this out because it's super exciting, and we could let Copilot do that for us, but I'm going to do it. Here we go. Below is a success projected index. So just folks, if you are just joining, this is FAFO. These are live streams where sports, music, and culture occur. And this is a live workflow based around sports and specifically the EuroLeague Final Four in Athens this weekend. We brought together all the raw data, whatever you prefer, of the EuroLeague this year. We extracted strategic insights from that data. You can present data to teams, clients, etc., and they'll ask, what does it mean? You can present insights from the data and you move the ball forwards. You push the ball up the court, if you will. All right, below is a SPI for the Final Four. Built from decisive signals we've already extracted: season strength, recent trend, home away, robustness, head-to-head, playoff translation. Just want to make sure share this again. That's okay. Head-to-head versus Final Four rivals. Yep. Playoff translation, roster depth, and the pedigree. Final Four is in Athens. SPI is a transfer weighted heuristic, kind of a shortcut, not an official metric. Scores reflect relative projection within this 4-team set, based strictly on side results plus clearly labeled modeling choices, SPIs. Core strength, 35 points. Win percentage is 15. Point differential per game, 20. That's good. Most repeatable quality signal, nice. Recent form, 10. That's great. I'll give 10 points for that. That's excellent. Last 10 games, win rate, captures movement, health fit going into the Final Four window. Neutral site robustness. This is excellent. Final Four is neutral, so bias towards teams that travel well, or less home dependent. Okay, I got a feeling that someone's going to struggle in this category. And they got nothing really to do with this shirt that I'm wearing. All right. Anyway, moving on. It's encouraging. My partner's from Valencia, so that's my team this weekend. Home away gap, 5 points. Smaller gap, more portable performance. More portable. That's nice. Okay. Smaller gap. So if the gap, right, so I see. So if the split is, let's say, 9 to 10, 9 wins, 10 losses, that is more portable performance than Real Madrid going 6 and 13. Playoff translation. Series efficiency, 3-0 is better than 3-2. Okay, so Valencia might struggle here. We might lose a few points. Olympiacos would be in the best state here. Away wins in the quarterfinals. Okay, well, Valencia look good here. Real Madrid went 1-1 in Bulgaria. Fenerbahce went 1-1 in Lithuania. And Valencia went 2-0. Pedigree and roster depth. Okay, so this is good. This is only partly qualitative component grounded in, 10 points. I like this one. I wouldn't really give this much credence because experience is one thing, but we see young teams winning. We saw Oklahoma City do it recently, and the young teams are killing it. There's something compelling about experience, but at some point, experience runs out of gas. It's what Golden State did in its early years. They were inexperienced, and look at them. They became a legacy. Okay, Athens, closest to home nudge, 1 point. Oh, that's cool. Olympiacos get 1 extra point. All right, 2, inputs that drive the SPI, the why behind the numbers. Regular season profile. Olympiacos 26 and 12. Yep, and these are the records we looked at earlier, 25-13, 24-14. 24-14, very similar. Olympiacos had a great season. Playoff translation, Olympiacos swept. Right, sweet. Valencia, yep. Okay, look at these results before. Rival mini league, we saw the Real Madrid came out on top. And here we go. So first, let's take a look at our SPIs, our projected success for our 4 teams out of 100. So we'll decide our top 2. Well, we're going to see the winner probably, but we're certainly going to, we could organize this to do it from lowest to highest, but that's for next time. By the way, folks, join us next week as we break down the European Champions League and do a projection of success for the teams, Arsenal and PSG. That's live next Thursday night, same time, same place on the internet. Check out the schedule at the end of today. Also coming up live tomorrow, live from Bad Bunny. I'll be at the show, streaming 30-minute take from outside the Debí Tirar Más Fotos tour in Barcelona. If you want a taste of what it's like outside the craziness of a Bad Bunny show, we're going to find out together. That's what FAFO is all about. Let's go. Success projection for our 4 teams out of 100, 100 being the highest, 0 being the lowest. Okay, so we have our winner, Olympiacos 81. Let's see why. Best core strength, top record and margin, strong. Best recent form, 3-0. Yep. Plus a small Athens proximity nudge, which gave him extra point. Valencia, 20 points behind, but second. Strong core, good trend, best playoff travel signal. Yep, 2 away wins. Absolutely. Positive rival results, 1-1 against Real Madrid. They didn't go without a win against any of the other teams. Didn't. I hope that was clear. Pedigree is the main drag. Yeah, it's their first ever Final Four. That's true. So there's something there, perhaps. Real Madrid third. Okay, excellent pedigree, strong rival results, but neutral site robustness is a risk factor. Extreme. 6-13 split. Fenerbahce, the lowest of the four. Pedigree and decent away record, but weak core margin. Weak core margin. So that's, I don't know what a core margin is. Okay, well, we could dive into that a bit more if you're curious. All right, but poor recent form, 3-7 in the last 10, plus negative results against the mini league, against the other three teams, dragged them down. Okay, there we have it. So, folks, our winner, projected winner of the EuroLeague in 2026 will be Olympiacos over Valencia. And we got some extra explanations. Component breakdown, signal versus penalty. What's the core? Oh, the core. All right, the core with us. The signals that were point differential. What were they? Let's go. Core strength, 35. Okay. Win percentage, point differential per game. Okay. So Olympiacos were super strong there. Neutral, 35. What's neutral? Neutral site. Okay. 15, so they got a 13.5 out of that. Nice. The only thing is, did that add up to 100? So we have 35, 10. Breakdown, I think. Ah, right. Not bad. Right. Slide across here. Okay, cool. And we have our other factors. Ah, nice. So we got core and neutral and rival. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, man. Rival, not too great against rivals. Playoffs, 10 out of 15. Why'd they lose points? Maybe point differential? Isn't that convincing? Away wins. Well, they were perfect. Not sure why that is. Okay, well, not sure, something to investigate. But they did sweep, and they were the only one to sweep, and they got the best score, so that checks out. Pedigree and depth, yeah. Valencia had the lowest pedigree. Athens, they're the only ones that get the point for quasi home court. Awesome. That is awesome. That is cool. So we have our projected outcomes all laid out there. So, okay. Now, why these penalties bonus happen in plain language? Neutral penalty, yeah, the home asymmetry. Olympiacos' rival score is low, despite being, because they went 2-4. Yeah. Even though it's slightly positive, Valencia's signal is elite. They won 2 games in Athens. That's true. Yeah, they won 2 games in Athens already. They're the only ones who've done it in the playoffs. And an incredible away from home record. Fenerbahce's trend penalty is driven by last 10. Interpretation of a neutral site, so what? best record, best momentum, 3-0, roster depth and elite experience. Nice, Valencia. Upside volatility, but traveling well. Strong core numbers. And they showed they can win away from home under pressure, on the verge of elimination. Main risk is pedigree. Real Madrid, high ceiling, but neutral site risk. Pedigree's unmatched. Yeah. I mean, they're all-time most successful team and have a really good record. Lost in the final last year as well. The roster changes, but still something there. Neutral court directly attacks their biggest weakness, away performance. Lastly, Fenerbahce, the lowest ranked, the 4th ranked team. Champion pedigree, defending champions, but weaker statistical profile. Defending champions pedigree, deep roster, keep a non-zero path. However, late season form and weak weak season margin. And yeah, bad results against the others. Okay, that is awesome. We got it. Cool. So let's go. We're going to do this. Convert into a PowerPoint. Copy this. Now we have our projected. There you go, folks. We got our projected winner, and it is Olympiacos. The final, according to the data, says there will be Olympiacos versus Valencia in Sunday's final. And I don't know if there's a third place playoff. But if there is, then we know that too. That would be Real Madrid versus Fenerbahce. And lastly, folks, we now have our winners projected. We have created infographics and a video, and we're finally going to shape this into a exec level strategic narrative. All right, so there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can do this directly within the agent. You can also do it in the PowerPoint agent here, or you can also do it in the desktop PowerPoint app. But for now, we're going to see how this one shakes out. Winners, we're about to be all done here. Final Four starting tomorrow, kicking off at 5 p.m. CET. Olympiacos, our projected winners, versus Fenerbahce, our projected cellar dwellers. And at 8 p.m., it's Valencia versus Real Madrid. Coming up also tomorrow, live stream from the Bad Bunny show at the venue, at the stadium for Bad Bunny on his Debí Tirar Más Fotos tour. If you want a quick taste of the atmosphere on the ground, no things bring people together at the same time more than live sports and entertainment. And that is certainly going to be happening tomorrow in a big way, where Bad Bunny is on his European leg of the tour. And join us in a few weeks. In fact, in 2 weeks, we're going to be breaking down Rosalia versus Bad Bunny and what economic impact they have on their host cities. And join us also next week for downloadable. I think you need to say, I don't know why that happens, but join us this time next Thursday for a live Copilot workflow on the European Champions League final. we're going to break down the performances of the teams and project a winner based on their recent results, their talent, and how they match up against their rival. We could also have added a logo here. Why don't we do that? Make this look nice. That's fine. That's okay. Okay, for exec level, so we see the SPIs explained here, broken down into how we got there, what their metrics all mean. We have the regular season signals, our mini tournament. Is it? No, these are their final standings. In fact, top 4 teams in the league were these out of a 20 league team, 20 team league. This one right here, right? And playoffs matchups and components. Here are their records in the playoffs so far, team level synthesis and context. Now, where are our SPIs though? Something's missing. Okay. I don't know why I missed the SPI. Maybe add the SPIs team. Yeah, this doesn't have the SPIs. PSIs? What are we calling it? What's it called? Success. Okay, well, I thought it was projected success index, but success projection index. A bit more awkward. Okay, it doesn't look as good now, but it's got our SPIs here. Of course, we can like go here and say, you know, touch this up visually for, oops. But most importantly, we have our SPI. It's gone off the thing, but can also do this in PowerPoint. Input it into, that's a lot of ins and puts going on there. Full design. Yeah, clean modern. It's time for Greece to move into the modern world, right? Home of none other than Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Hippocrates, like some of the formative seminal figures in philosophy and medicine and architecture and mathematics, literature, right? Like the Homer's Odyssey and that from ancient Greece. Anyway, awesome. You can also use the app for this, which is quite useful. And then, of course, if you wanted to send this, we could go to Outlook and just use Copilot in Outlook. And be like, why do we do that? Insights. I don't know why it does this, but sometimes Copilot just disappears. Okay. What stands out, projected outlook, how we got there. Send this to myself. This part takes a bit more, takes a while. We're going to wrap things up here, folks. This has been FAFO. These are live streams from where sports, music, and culture happen. We have been extracting key insights from the raw data of EuroLeague Final Four, in fact, the whole EuroLeague season. And we've projected, forecasted the outcomes of this weekend's Final Four in Athens, where, according to the data, Olympiacos will triumph over Valencia Basket. Shouldn't be too hard to add that slide, should I? The time needed for this is still, what's the word? Too much. It's just really counterproductive. So there's something going on here that's while Copilot, as we've demonstrated, is super powerful, there are still things that prevent it from being taken seriously across the whole workflow. And this is one of them. I mean, you'd have to go and have lunch to wait for this. Still loading. While that's loading, maybe I could try updating it from I'm going to download this, copy the link. Why can't I copy the link? Okay, that's good. Any luck here? Okay, awesome. We got it. Took a while, but we got there in one of them. I'm going to close this one. This one can get out. Anyway, all right, we've got our SPI here. That's cool. So I'm going to save this and send it to my team. We have our key insights from raw data. Download. Where is attach here? I always use the desktop version. Can I just drag it? What am I missing here? Okay, we're done. We are done. And that's it. Coming up next on FAFO, live from Bad Bunny tomorrow, live stream from the event, quick take on the atmosphere outside the Debbie Tirar Mas Photos tour. And join us next Thursday as we use Copilot to break down and project the outcome of the 2026 European Champions League final. This has been FAFO. Nothing better in life than sports, music, and culture. And I just got our email there. Sports, music, and culture are undefeated. Enjoy the Final Four this weekend.
This isn't content, it's conversation. And real-time data analysis for wider business application. Sports, music, culture. FAFO! Live streams from the event and live Copilot workflows. Tied to the moment. Let's go! Let's go!